Welcome back to AFT Dice Season 5. It is round 8. We've got Melbourne versus Western Bulldogs, MCG, Game 1. Let's go to the first quarter. First quarter nearly done. And we've got Melbourne kicking 4 goals 1 to Western Bulldogs 2 goals 2. Melbourne are in front by 11 points at quarter time. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Melbourne have kicked 4 goals 6 to Western Bulldogs 1 goal 3. Melbourne at halftime are leading by 32 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Western Bulldogs have kicked back. They've kicked 4 goals 4 to Melbourne 1-2 at third quarter. At three-quarter time, Melbourne are leading by 12 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins this game. And in the end, Melbourne have kicked 5 goals 5 in the last quarter to Western Bulldogs 1-2. Melbourne win by 39. Final scores, Melbourne 14-14, 98 to Western Bulldogs 8-11, 59. All right, let's go to the next game. It's North Melbourne versus Gold Coast Suns. First quarter is done. North Melbourne have kicked 4 goals 3 to Gold Coast 1-3. North Melbourne are in front. Quarter time. Second quarter, North Melbourne have kicked 4 goals 2 to Gold Coast 3-3. North Melbourne are up by 23 points at halftime. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter pretty much even. We've got Gold Coast kicking 5 goals 6 to North Melbourne 5-3. 20 points of difference going into the last quarter, North Melbourne. And North Melbourne have won this game by 12 points. Gold Coast, they kicked 3 goals 1 to North Melbourne 1-5 in the last quarter. Final scores, North Melbourne 14-13, 97 to Gold Coast Suns 12-13, 85. All right. Let's go to the next game. It is Hawthorn versus Brisbane. Let's go to the first quarter. First quarter, Brisbane have kicked 6 goals 5 to Hawthorn 3 goals 3. Brisbane are up by 20 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Brisbane have kicked 2 goals 2 to Hawthorn 1-4. At halftime, Brisbane are up by 24 points. Let's go to the third quarter of this game. Third quarter, Brisbane have kicked 6 goals 5 to Hawthorn 3-2. At three-quarter time, Brisbane are up by 45 points. Let's go to the last quarter. And the last quarter, Hawthorn have kicked 6 goals 2 to Brisbane 2-5 in that last quarter. But in the end, Brisbane have won by 24 points. Final scores, Hawthorn 13-11, 89. To Brisbane 16-17, 113. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Adelaide versus Essendon. Adelaide have kicked 5-1, Essendon 2-1. Second quarter. Second quarter, Essendon have kicked 5 goals 4 to Adelaide 3-5. And at halftime, Adelaide are up by 7 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Adelaide have kicked 3 goals 6 to Essendon 1-5. 20 points of difference, Adelaide's favour. Let's go to the last quarter. Last quarter, Essendon have kicked 5 goals 1 to Adelaide 2-1. But in the end, Adelaide have won by 3 points. Adelaide, final score 13-14. 92 to Essendon, 13-11, 89. All right, let's go to the next game. It is GWS Giants versus Richmond at Giant Stadium. GWS Giants have kicked 3 goals 3 to Richmond 1-2 in that first quarter. 13 points GWS's way. Second quarter, very even. GWS kicking 5 goals 4 to Richmond 5 goals 2. At halftime, GWS are up by 15 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter has been done. GWS have kicked 5 goals 2 to Richmond 4 goals 4. At 3/4 time, Richmond are up down by 19 points. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. The last quarter, Richmond have kicked 4 goals 2 to GWS 2-1. But in the end, GWS just got over the line by 6 points. Final scores, GWS 15-10, 100 to Richmond 14 goals 10, 94. Let's go to the next game. It is Sydney versus St Kilda at SCG. Let's go to the first quarter. First quarter, St Kilda have kicked 2 goals 3 to Sydney 1-4. St Kilda up by 5 points at quarter time. Second quarter, Sydney have kicked 4-5 to St Kilda 2-3. At half time, Sydney are up by 9 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, St Kilda have kicked 3 goals 2 to Sydney 1-1. St Kilda now up by 4 points at 3/4 time. Let's go to the last quarter. Last quarter, Sydney have kicked 4 goals 1 to St Kilda 2-2. In the end, Sydney have won by 7 points. Final score, Sydney 10-11, 71 to St Kilda 9-10, 64. All right. Let's go to the next game. It's West Coast Eagles versus Geelong at Optus Stadium. It is the bottom versus the top. West Coast have kicked, coming out of the blocks, they've kicked 6 goals 5, 41 to Geelong 139. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, very even. Geelong kicking 4-5 to West Coast 4-1. And at halftime, West Coast are up by 28 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Geelong have kicked 3 goals 6 to West Coast 2 goals 2. And at 3/4 time, West Coast are up by 18 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins this game. And in the end, West Coast, they've kicked 5 goals 3 to Geelong, 2 goals 3 in the last quarter. And West Coast win by 36 points. West Coast, final score, 17-11, 113 to Geelong, 10-17, 77. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Port Adelaide versus Fremantle at Adelaide Oval. Let's go to the first quarter. First quarter, Port Adelaide, they've kicked 6 goals 5, 41 to Fremantle, 3 goals 3, 21. Let's go to the second quarter, 20 points up, Port Adelaide. Fremantle, they've kicked 4 goals 6 to Port Adelaide 2-1. At halftime, Port Adelaide are up by 3 points. Let's go to the third quarter of this game. And the third quarter, Fremantle have kicked 3 goals 3 to Port Adelaide 2-4. And at 3/4 time, Fremantle are up by 2 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins. And Port Adelaide, in the end, win by 8 points. They kicked 3 goals 1 to Fremantle 1-3. That was the difference. Final scores, Port Adelaide 13-11, 89 to Fremantle 11-15, 81. Let's go to the last game of the round. It's Collingwood versus Carlton at the MCG. Blockbuster. Collingwood's the best defence team in the comp. Okay, let's go to the first quarter. Collingwood kicking 5-2 to Carlton 6-5. And Carlton are up by 9 points. Second quarter, Collingwood kicking 3 goals 4 to Carlton 1-2. And Collingwood at halftime are leading by 5 points. Let's go to the third quarter of this game. Third quarter, Carlton have come out. They've kicked 5 goals 6 to Collingwood 2-3. And at 3/4 time, Carlton are leading by 16 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins. And in the end, Collingwood, they kicked 5 goals, 1 to Carlton 2-1. And in the end, Collingwood win by 1 point. Final scores, Collingwood 15-10, 100 to Carlton 14-15, 99. What a last quarter. That was the difference in that game. And Collingwood have gone from number 1 defence team to number 1 offence team. Sydney's the best defence team at the moment after round 8. The top 8, we've got Melbourne on top, new leader, with Adelaide Crows 2nd, Geelong 3rd, Collingwood 4th, and remaining 4 teams in the 8 is Sydney Swans, Brisbane Lions, GWS Giants, and Port Adelaide. And down the bottom, we've got a new bottom team, and that is Hawthorn. They've lost the last 5 games. West Coast, they've won the last 2 games of the season. So a few shuffles around the ladder after round 8, but we'll see you next time on AFT Dice Season 5 in round 9.